Bro, Hades 2 is so peak! It's only in early access right now, but let me tell you, it is already the most fun I've had in a single player title since, well, Hades 1. In the game, you play as Melanoe, who is apparently the little sister of Zagreus, the protagonist from the first game, and she was supposedly born off camera after the events of Hades 1. Look, the details don't matter, okay? What matters is that Hades, i.e. your father, along with every other underworld resident that you know from the first game, have been imprisoned in time by Kronos, also known as the literal embodiment of time itself. Also, look at how cool he looks, holy shit, like goddamn. Anyways, from here on, it doesn't take a scryer to imagine that your goal is to defeat Kronos, save your loved ones, reunite your family, the whole shebang.
Few tales are told of Hades, whose reign as grim lord of the dead came to a sudden end when all at once, his past caught up with him. But gods do not go quietly, and history repeats. So this tale was only a matter of time.
However, Hades 2 isn't just more Hades 1, because Melanoe was raised by Hecate, the goddess of magic, which renders Melanoe's combat style very distinct from that of Zagreus. This is primarily through the use of a brand new combat resource called magic, with a K mind you because it's ancient Greece and words are funny. Magic acts similarly to a generic stamina bar. All of your attacks can be empowered to their omega form, which uses up magic. And there are many different ways of recovering magic during combat. However, universally, your magic is refilled after each encounter.
Oh my god, Odysseus sounds so fucking hot. I didn't think they could outdo themselves after Achilles in Hades 1, but god damn.
What, do you mean like Mount Olympus or Mount
Okay, yeah, I get it. Melanie, shut the fuck up. Let me go back to Odysseus, please.
Hey, you look up from the base to the peak.
Oh my god. Did you guys know this motherfucker is voiced by the same dude who does Omen from Valorant? Does that man ever miss? Damn. Although magic and everything that comes along with it is definitely the most fundamental difference when it comes to combat, we mustn't forget about the weapons themselves by which you direct said magic. So far, there are a total of 5 weapons to pick from, all of which are brand new, no repeats in the House of Hades, no sir! Although these weapons, called the Nocturnal Arms, don't have aspects the way the Infernal Arms from the first game did, this is made up for by the added depth that comes from the magic-powered Omega attacks. Okay, you can stop yelling at me. Turns out there actually are aspects in the game and Hecate just hadn't given them to me, okay? I checked the wiki and everything to avoid this exact situation and there was no mention of aspects for the Nocturnal Arms anywhere, but what can you do? Shit happens. Sorry.
You're one of my father's brothers, aren't you? Then help him. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Long-lost niece, you live! We thought you met the same fate as your father, and your mother, and your brother. Oh.
What an intro! Oh my god. I'm glad Poseidon's still as awkward as he was in the first game.
Alright. We've beaten around the bush long enough. Let's talk about gods, baby.
The mechanics surrounding boons and such have remained almost identical since Hades 1. That goes the same for Chaos Boons, Palms of Power, and Daedalus Hammers as well. However, what has changed is the pool of gods who assist you in your journey. We've obviously got the big ones making their return, like Uncle Zeus, Poseidon, and Demeter. However, Athena, Ares, and Dionysus, my beloved, have all been replaced with Apollo, Hestia, and Hephaestus. Along with this, Artemis is still present, but is now a random encounter, much like Thanatos from Hades 1, and her boons don't appear as a chamber reward. Unfortunate if you ask me, considering this means that an Artemis-centric run is just no longer a possibility. But they also got rid of her divine thighs, so she's honestly just a husk of what she used to be, man. Weirdly enough, Aphrodite and Hermes seem to be the only ones among the children of Zeus whose behaviors remain completely unchanged, not counting their incredible glow-ups, obviously. Oh, and if you're lucky, you might just encounter a familiar face in the depths of Tartarus, who will offer you what little aid he can muster through his shackles.
Hey man, tell me something.
Can
you keep a secret?
Oh, he's talking
Because
to
I
his reflection.
can't. I love you. Yeah, you got that right. Well, sometimes I wonder
So I didn't hear anything, don't
what
worry.
would it have been like were I not so unbelievably attractive. Some things would have been easier. Not having everybody fall in love with me. Maybe arithmetic.
You're concerned that you're too winsome for your own good? Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't find you particularly attractive.
Oh, I know you don't mean that. Though I appreciate you trying to
Oh
comfort
my
me.
god, I fucking love narcissists. It just wouldn't be fair to make a video about Hades 2 without talking about the bosses, or Guardians as they're known. Having completed everything the game has to offer thus far, and so having defeated every Guardian, I can say that these are some of the best boss fights I've experienced in gaming. No victory felt too easy as to be trivial, and no defeat has felt too unfair as to be frustrating. In the end, I truly felt like all I had to do was try again. Not to get luckier or stronger, mind you, just more experience. Knowing that my familiarity with the enemy would be the difference between victory and another trip to the crossroads. Now, I don't want to spoil the later Guardians too much, so I won't get into them in much detail, but I would just like to take a moment to appreciate how Scylla and the Sirens is just the coolest boss fight ever. Their whole shtick is that they're a music band, right? Consisting of Scylla on vocals, Roxy on the drums, and Jetty on the guitar. Reminiscent of the Theseus fight from the first game, you have to take on all three of these members at once, and they all have a very distinct combat style. Scylla has the most varied move pool, being the main attraction and the face of the band and all that, and if you don't pay attention to which attack she's about to perform, you can very easily get caught off guard and take just unnecessary damage. However, you also have to keep an eye out on Jetty, who will follow you around incessantly and either quickly charge at you or send fast projectiles which don't hurt you by themselves but stun you for a considerable time, leaving you open to attacks from the other two. Speaking of which, the last member of the trio is Roxy, who, being on the drums, can't just strut along the arena and is stuck in a fixed position. However, unlike her stature, her attacks cover the entire arena, unleashing entire rows of blasts traversing all along the field, as well as forcing you to either approach or distance yourself from the drummer by covering a large chunk of the stage all at once. And to act as the cherry on top of this cake of masterful game design, the coolest part of this entire fight is that once you defeat one of the members, their instrument is removed from the background music, or muffled in the case of Scylla since she retreats into her shell, but like the cool part stays. Because the whole fight is within the context of Scylla and the Sirens giving a concert, and they are actively performing the song that plays during the entire battle. It is so ingenious and cool and dope and rad, and I love it, and holy fuck, this game is so big! Okay, check this out. Oh, and there go the drums. No more drums in the music. Oh, what's that? Ah, yeah. Oh, and no more guitar. It's just the bass now, and Scylla. You can't get rid of the bass just keeps going. It's actually just Davey 504 in the corner playing bass. He doesn't even know what's going on, he's just here for a good time. There's so much more to talk about in this game, even in early access. Hell, I didn't even mention you can choose to climb up to Mount Olympus if the underworld isn't to your liking. But I don't want to spoil any more of the fun of discovering it all for yourself. I've had so many moments of physical excitement while playing this game, when encountering a new character or a new location or what have you, and the last thing I would want is to take that away from someone else. So, what are you waiting for? Open up Steam, or Epic Games if you're a weirdo, buy, download it, and play Hades 2 right now and experience this adventure for yourself.
Time is waiting for you.